This is First and 15 on WANE 15 Plus.
Welcome in to another episode of First and 15, episode 27.
Wow.
27 episodes.
We reran an episode last week.
Yes. For those who don't know, Mike Zanetti had a little, our usual host had a little skiing accident a few weeks back.
Bigger than a little.
Well, yeah, it was a pretty serious injury. Recovering in the hospital right now. He's in good spirits with his fam. So in the meantime, I think more than anybody, he would want us to keep on going and still give us some football insight. And so that's what we're going to do.
And we're praying for you, Mike. You know,
yes.
we visited him watch the Super Bowl, and he's up and walking. And, good sign. So everyone at home, if you got some time, we appreciate you just praying for Mike. Of
course.
Just learning walking again and using his hands again. So we hope to have him back at some point.
Absolutely. And so everybody, hopefully bear with me in the meantime as I learn to do Mike's usual job. You cannot see it, Ethan, but I changed my lower third just to WANE 15 Next Star employee. It's just because I've done so many things here at this point in the time I've been at WANE. So, but yeah, like I said, we still got plenty.
What's my title?
WANE 15 reporter / anchor.
Okay.
I think he asked me whenever we started the show. He asked me what would be a good one. I was like, I mean, anchor 2 days a week, report 3. So
former multimedia journalist of the year.
Well, the lower third's only so big. We'd have to get rid of the Next Star bug.
Can't do that.
Yeah, can't do that.
Can't get rid of the Next Star bug. Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys were able to have a fun weekend watching the Super Bowl wherever you were. Like Ethan said, we were up with Mike and his family up in Elkhart watching the Super Bowl. Seahawks murder Patriots.
Terrible game.
And we'll get plenty into it. It's probably a little less of a fantasy show this week. More just kind of a Super Bowl recap. We'll even recap like the NFL honors. Like MVP, Coach of the Year.
I'm picking my team entirely based off of NFL Man of the Year.
Okay. Who? Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, he's one of the better linebackers.
Take him off the board. First overall next year.
That would be that'd be interesting. So yeah, we'll just dive right into it. Like I said, Super Bowl recap. Seahawks win pretty handily, 29-13. I mean, it was kind of a rout from the beginning. It was interesting because the Patriots defense didn't play bad at all.
No, they kept that game entirely reasonable. I mean, you talk about the dam kind of breaking in the fourth quarter there also was off the back of bad pick and a fumble. So, I mean, to me, there actually was a good fantasy takeaway from this game. All year long, I told you I wasn't abandoning Kenneth Walker because the advanced stats were there. What he was doing with individual carries, and we know that Charbonnet was just, the vulture. You got in the red zone, said, hey, get out. Hey, get out of there. And he would come in and punch it in, and those lost touchdowns just destroyed Kenneth Walker's fantasy value down the stretch. But, I mean, we saw it. We saw exactly what he does, and he turns opportunities into yards every time. So I'll be interested to see what happens in that backfield next year, but I still am a guy that's going to take a flyer on Kenneth Walker, depending on where his ADP is, because we see that he's going to be heavily involved. He does it all. He's got great hands. He's great in the open field. I don't think there's a down of the game we're going to take him out.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of pointed out 27 carries for 135 yards at 5 yards a clip. Also had a couple catches for 26 yards. Super Bowl MVP. It just seemed like he wore the defense down. I mean, almost 30 carries.
Bruising almost. Yes. Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, and forced 9 missed tackles. So, I mean, any run, he was basically, making the defense work for it. And then when you consider that the offensive drives were stalling, not pulling drives together, the defense is going to get tired after that.
You know who he looked like out there a little bit? It's the feeling I get when the Packers play against the Lions. And Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't wear you down because he runs you over. But he's so slippery and so hard to tackle. It feels like you have to exert so much energy anytime he has the ball that it just looked like the defense got tired. Like it was just so hard to grab him.
Yeah, and you kind of pointed out, I mean, he's looked good all year. Number 1 PFF running back. Funny enough,
the advanced stats look great.
Yeah, funny enough, Charbonnet actually is 3rd. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a great running back duo. Not good for fantasy because they were both kind of poaching each other. But, yeah, I think you just kind of saw his true talent. He's an unrestricted free agent. this year. I don't know if they'll franchise tag him. You never know really how that goes.
I think they will.
It'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, he was kind of my first takeaway. I mean, we pretty much kind of touched on all the points. But, yeah, I just think that the Seahawks offense didn't really need to do much because of how the Patriots looked. And yeah, just run the ball down their throat, burn clock, and that's exactly what they did.
Let me give you USA Today's top projected landing spots, and I'll see how does that impact this draft rating? How excited you are, 1 to 10, based on these draft spots. Number 1, Denver Broncos.
I would like that a lot, but I don't know how realistic that is considering RJ Harvey.
You just give me how excited you are.
I give it a 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think he's a top 10 running back if he goes to the Broncos?
Actually, I'm going to back that up. I'm going to say a 7 only because of RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey's there.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
all right, their number 2 spot, Washington Commanders, right? They shipped out Brian Robinson right before week 1. They've got Bill there still, Jackery. What's the actual name? Jackery Krosky Merritt, right?
Yeah, we've always just called him Bill Krosky.
Yeah, the industry plant running back. If he goes to the Commanders, what's your excitement, fantasy-wise?
I think that's got to be 9, 10.
9, 10.
I just don't see Chris Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Jeremy McNichols, whoever will still be there. I guess Bill Krosky would definitely still be there.
Is that top 5 running back territory if he gets into that offense, assuming we get a fully healthy season from the quarterback, from the O-line?
As much as I love Kenneth Walker, I don't know if any landing spot would make him top 5 for me because I know it didn't play out this year. That was kind of one of the more frustrating things about the backfield split is that you drafted Charbonnet because Kenneth Walker's almost hurt every year.
Yep.
As virtually really wasn't hurt. So I think because of that, plus just the other players, other top 5 running backs, I wouldn't put him top 5, but that would be a really good one.
Enter the offseason with $69.3 million in effective cap space per USA Today. Actually, they cite per over the cap.
Okay.
Number 3, Arizona Cardinals. And can I read this to you from USA Today?
Mm-hmm.
No one knows what's going to happen in the desert. Will the Cardinals move forward with Kyler Murray at quarterback? Are they looking to start fresh? What does Mike LaFleur's hiring mean for the outlook in Arizona? What will James Conner look like after a season of injury? So many questions, so few answers. I just think that's a doomed pairing. Because Connor's going to come back. That feels like the fattest committee that I want no part of if he goes to Arizona.
Yeah, and obviously new head coach. Who knows what the quarterback situation is going to look like? There's just too many questions. Especially right now. Maybe obviously by draft season there may be a little more clarity. But
I like this next one.
Okay.
I'll let you rank it on 1 to 10. The New York Jets projected to have the 5th most cap space with about $67.5 million. Breece Hall's a free agent. Look at a little Ken Bone over in New York.
I'm going to give it like a 5.
5, okay.
And honestly, that's probably generous. That just is more of a testament to liking Kenneth Walker. I just want no part of that organization.
Listen, I'll be honest. If that happens and Breece is gone, I'm high. Because you know what I know about Aaron Glenn? That dude loves to run.
Yeah.
He loves to pound the ball. So.
Well, here's a question then.
Uh-huh.
Let's say he goes to the Jets. Would you rather have him or Kyron Williams?
Depends on the Jets' quarterback situation.
Which I don't even know. I don't even know what that'll be.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be either. Let's say they draft, what's Alabama's guy? Ty Simpson?
Yep.
Let's say they draft Ty Simpson, and that's their week 1 starter.
Yeah.
I'm taking Kenneth Walker.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really not inspired by him or pretty much the entire quarterback draft class.
If they get Kyler Murray or something like that, which I've heard rumored, I'm out.
Wow.
I'm out.
You'd rather have Ty Simpson over Kyler Murray?
Yeah, because I think that they're going to try to ease Ty in if they get him. Like, all right, let's lean on the running back. I think you get a guy like Kyler Murray in, and there's some rose-tinted glasses from coaches around the league. They're like, oh, yeah, you've been around a while. Well, sling that thing. No, please don't. Please don't.
That's an interesting take.
Hey, that's what I'm good for.
Yeah.
You know, Mike's gone. I gotta ramp up the hot takes.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's USA Today's last pick is the Seattle Seahawks, saying there's no place like home. Notably, Walker is a Tennessee native. 4 years with the Seahawks. You know, Super Bowl MVP. Hawks come into the offseason with $63 million in effective cap space. No other major free agents to re-sign. Yeah. I think that's probably the most likely.
Yeah.
I think he probably sticks around. $63 million is a lot of money to just be sitting.
And I don't think they would have to break the bank for him either. I mean, he's a good running back, but it's not like a Saquon or McCaffrey type deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder, do they give a prediction on what they think he'll get paid? They do not.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, kind of another takeaway I thought that was big in the game, and obviously we watched most of it together, was Patriots offensive line. I feel like watching sports commentary yesterday, a lot of people seem to be more down on May, and he didn't play well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get sacked 6 times, I think it was 19 total pressures.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've seen that a lot in recent Super Bowls. Whether it was the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl where the Bucks were getting crazy pressure on Mahomes. Last year, the Eagles were doing the same thing. I mean, if there's one way to stop the most important position in football, it's finding a way to disrupt. I mean, getting the pass rush is big. And, I mean, Will Campbell alone, I know people have been especially ragging on him. I think the short hands thing is kind of silly.
He didn't have a good game, though.
He didn't. But he's a rookie left tackle in the Super Bowl.
What's the other? Their right tackle, is it Morgan Moses?
Yes, Morgan Moses.
Also a terrible game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we're seeing, and this is something I saw people talk about a little bit last year. I don't know the cause, but someone needs to do an investigative report on why offensive lines suck now. What happened? I feel like we used to have great offensive line talent. I feel like there was guys around the league where it's like, even I felt like every team had a solid O-line. So I don't know if it's defensive line's getting better, but a lot of injuries this year to the O-line, as we talked about throughout the season. But it just seems like the drop-off from college football, the pipeline, is worse and worse every year for offensive linemen. Yeah. Once again, I don't know if that's true, but it feels like we're not corn-feeding enough kids from age 1 to just get big.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, he was a rookie. That's a tough spot as a left tackle, and then going up against Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, those are good defensive ends. I mean, that is not a good spot to be in. Yeah. And then and then even just beyond the pressure pass rush they were getting, because of that, you saw Ramondre Stevenson only 7 rushes for 23 yards, Travion 6 for 19. I mean, the Patriots were scoreless heading into the fourth quarter.
Completely stymied on the offense. I mean, and it surprised me when we saw them in the fourth out of desperation turn to the deep ball and it worked. It just surprised me we didn't see that sooner. Yeah. Like, you've got a guy like Matt Collins, and you kind of know how you've been scoring all year. Not scheming up the deep ball kind of surprised me a little bit.
I mean, only 1 red zone possession. I mean, that touchdown to Hollins was a good play outside the red zone, but... Yeah, Will Campbell allowed 14 pressures, most allowed by any lineman in a single game this season, regularly in playoffs.
Left side's a rookie, because Jared Wilson, also rookie. I think is the first time that 2 rookies started on the O-line in Super Bowl since, I don't know, they wore leather helmets. So, I mean, they're going to have a year, and obviously you look at them investing in Campbell as a young guy, right? I mean, I think he's 23 years old. I love to see teams invest in those draft picks, invest in the line. I know it didn't result in a Super Bowl, but I think about over the past decade, how pretty solid the Dallas Cowboys have been. Yeah. And I look at their offensive lines it makes sense. You guys have consistently invested draft picks here. I mean, I look at the Bears' great season. There's a reason that, how do you say that guy's name? Thuney?
Joe Thuney.
Okay, you don't pronounce the H. I know it's Thuney. They had a great season, and he was a big part of it. We love to talk about the quarterback room, and they had a great backfield. But there's a reason that in one of the biggest running back by committees in the North, that they had the best run game, was they had a great O-line to go with it. So I think it's a little bit of a microcosm of when I look across the league, the Super Bowl, and I say, man, what happened to the offensive line talent?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just kind of keep on going back to the fact that he's a rookie. I know he was a 4th overall pick, but to me, even that high of a pick, not everybody's going to be a Trent Williams, Penei Sewell, where out the gate they're just an absolute stud. And so it sucks because obviously you never know if you'll ever get back to the Super Bowl again. I mean, this could have been the chance.
It could be it.
And you're going up against a team, a very solid overall team, but it's not like it's, Chiefs dynasty, Patriots dynasty, Brady dynasty, that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel bad for the kid. I don't know if you saw, but I think he didn't want to speak to any reporters. Literally just left the locker room early. And then I think today, I didn't get a chance to read it. I saw it right before the show started, but I think he actually issued an apology.
Which he's a kid. You
Yeah.
know?
Well,
It's tough to see. And you appreciate the apology, but I also completely understand. Listen, as a journalist, I'll say my least favorite thing to ever watch is the post-game defeat interview. And to be honest, I think we can eliminate it 99% of the time. I want to talk to the coach. I don't think it's necessary to talk to the players. I think about when the Bucks won the championship and CP3 was getting questions, and that dude just looked like he wanted to cry. And I completely get it. Like, I think you should give the players a day in all cases. Talk to the coach. Hey, what went wrong? What went right? But yeah, I will say, just to backtrack a second, because I know you're looking up stuff. CBS Sports did put out an article this past season called "The Offensive Line Crisis in College Football: What's Behind the Decline?" about 5-star talents. I mean, not that you use the star rating going up to the NFL, but blue chip talent getting up to the NFL. It's just not happening as much anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it just feels like the offensive line talent is just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I found an article. I apologize today for not speaking to reporters. And then take this what you will, but apparently he's also told reporters that he tore a ligament in his knee this season.
Oh.
Wasn't 100% for the playoffs, but said it's not an excuse. I just think it's one thing, if you want to go and bash him, being like, okay, yeah, he played bad, but I saw so many people saying his arms are too short, his hands are too small, they need to move him inside the guard center. Like, what kind of analysis is that? I guess I didn't have time to really look at an example, but surely there are some great offensive linemen that aren't just all Jonathan Ogden, 6'8", can move, stretch their arms like Mr. Fantastic. I mean, it just seems like bad analysis to me. But
my other question for the Super Bowl, I saw this take going around, and I wanted your opinion on it. I purposely withheld asking this earlier because I wanted to get your reaction on the show.
Wow. Well, hold on. Let me get a camera on me then here.
Would the Patriots have lost to every single team in the NFC that made the playoffs? Outside the Carolina Panthers. I've seen this take a lot. That they would have lost to every other team besides the Carolina Panthers.
I mean, I know they were playing bad heading into, during the playoffs, but that seems a little like I think they would have beaten the Packers.
Whoa!
I think they would have beaten the Packers for sure.
Stray.
They would absolutely would have.
By more than a field goal?
Probably.
Then they lose to the Bears, probably. Or they probably beat the Bears, too.
No, I think they'd beat the Bears. Or they'd lose to the Bears.
Really?
Bears are playing well. Bears were right there.
Against beat the Packers but by field goal. In essence.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just think in a world, in a sports media landscape that's so reactionary, I just feel like obviously the Super Bowl, last game of the year, people just need to really get those
get out
those
the last takes. It's going to be a while since you can get upset about the football again.
A couple more quick takeaways I thought was interesting. We're talking about bad O-line play.
Yep.
The Super Bowl had fantastic cornerback play.
Oh, yeah. Both sides.
I mean, they're two of the best corners in the league, but wanted to highlight Christian Gonzalez and Devon Witherspoon.
Broke up that.
Yes, the Rashid Shaheed. It was a deep pass.
It was like a cover two, right? They split right through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you can't really depend on the safety there because once again it's in the soft part of the cover two and my gosh.
No, he was fantastic. I mean, he was targeted and covered 7 times in the game. This is a PFF stats. Allowed 3 receptions for 36 yards, 3 pass breakups, and they were all like. There's not really necessarily a stat for this, but you would say like legitimate wins at the catch point. I mean, the play you're talking about with Rashid Shaheed. Actually, for anybody watching on the show right now, we got some photos of the plays he made. There was another one in the end zone where he broke up a pass of JSN. I wish you could see it right now. We got like this really beautiful photo of Gonzalez like stretching out this with the JSN or the Rashid Shaheed catch. I mean, he was fantastic.
I don't know if the stats say, but Carlton Davis looked good. I mean, who's their slot guy? Marcus Jones?
I think so.
I don't feel like I saw him get burned. I mean, and obviously the Pats played great, or the Seahawks played great. More than the cornerback play. I mean, we already talked about the O-line. That D-line is monstrous. And the stunts that they were sending on that pick six, fumble six? Pick six, the 45-yard return.
Pick six.
I don't know if you went back and watched it. They sent a secondary blitz. Things a corner off the same side, drop the linebacker in rotation. It was masterful. I mean, the defensive job the Seahawks did in the Super Bowl was insane. Hey, you know what? They're coming in at number 1 in my fantasy defense rankings.
Right. Well, That's what's crazy is there's just so many good defenses in the league now. I mean, between the Patriots, Broncos, Texans, I mean, there's some good
Just gonna leave out the Packers. That's crazy.
I mean, they got a good pass rush, but it's okay. But yeah, Christian Gonzalez was the second highest rated player according to PFF. Only defender to earn a game grade over 80. Allowed a passer rating of 59.2 in all targets that went his way. And yeah, I think it just kind of stinks that he was on the losing side. It maybe didn't stand out. And Devon Witherspoon, number 1 rated corner in PFF this season.
Yeah.
Absolute stud. And not only was he just really good in his usual corner play, but they used him in a lot of like blitz packages.
Yep.
And the Seahawks are not really known for blitzing outside of just sending 4, would rather drop 7 back and be good in coverage. He had a career-high 4 pressures on just 6 pass rushes, had a sack, basically forced the throw that led to the pick 6 you were just talking about, while still only allowing 2 receptions for 16 yards on 47 coverage snaps. JSN really didn't – or excuse me, sorry. Other than like the Mac Hollins touchdown, there was really no – the passing game just could do absolutely nothing. Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about it nice. Especially us just growing up as kids, Darrell Revis. There's just something about a nice
Charles
corner.
Woodson.
Yeah.
Listen, kids.
Dion.
Shout out the kids at Riverview Elementary growing up. I think it was Kyle Gendron, if you're out there. I think he had a Champ Bailey jersey when I was little.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the dark blue.
Yeah. No, there's something about a nice corner. And between those two, Derek Stingley with the Texans.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain, Broncos. There are a lot of great corners out there right now.
100%.
And so, that was those 2 players were really who kind of stood out to me in the Super Bowl as well. And kind of just the last takeaway.
I would say when you're done with last takeaways, one thing we didn't discuss. There are some headlines that I have pulled up that we should probably chat about after we talk about the big game.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's hit up this last takeaway then. Another thing that I just really appreciate: defense wins championships.
Amen, bro.
It's great, man. It's great. Now
doesn't win regular season games anymore, but it wins championships.
Yeah. But the Super Bowl matchup on both sides were defensive minded. Long-time linebacker Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald was phenomenal with the Ravens before taking the Seahawks job. McDonald was the first defensive head coach to win a Super Bowl since Belichick. In 2019, the Rams game, that was like 10-3 or something like that. I remember watching that in my college dorm room my freshman year.
Hey, we were the Ball State watching that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then he was the last non-Belichick head coach to win a Super Bowl was Pete Carroll of the Legion of Boom against the Broncos.
Crazy.
So obviously, we've talked about on the show a bunch about how the league, or pretty much every sport, is going more and more offense to appease the Timmies. And I think it was just nice to see a little defensive battle. And to me, it wasn't, because I do remember that Pats-Rams game. That was just an ugly game. But I really do think that there's just something about the tension. It's hard to explain, but just the fact that like every possession counts, and that even the Patriots, for as bad as their offense was, the Seahawks themselves didn't score a touchdown until early in the 4th.
Yeah.
And so I just think there's something about it. I know a lot of people would rather have like that Chiefs-Rams game, regular season game from like years ago. It was like 54-50 or something like that. But there's just something about a good defensive battle. I really like it.
All right, you ready for some headlines?
Let's hear it.
See how much you care about. David Njoku says he will not return to the Browns next year. Thoughts?
It makes sense. Harold Fannin. We've talked about Harold Fannin. Had a really good season. I kind of see him just being the future there. So Njoku definitely was not used as much as I thought. I know their offense is not
He had
good.
good weeks.
But yeah. So makes sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford announces he will be returning next year.
Yes.
How high are you on him? Are we drafting him as a top 5 QB? Or do you think he's going to repeat what he did this year? Top 10?
I'd say fringe top 10, but
Okay.
not top 5. I mean, between like Allen, Lamar.
So he's going to have a fall off / you think other guys are going to be healthy? Because, we had a lot of QB injuries this year.
Yeah. He also did throw, especially like his touchdown to interception. Just how few interceptions he threw. As much as I love Stafford, that's not really quite his game. He just truly had an incredible season. So, but I'm trying to think Allen, Lamar. Probably would rather have Jaden.
Okay.
Jaden and basically all the running quarterbacks.
Dak?
I'd rather have Stafford.
Okay. Jordan Love.
Would rather have Stafford.
Caleb. You said all the running quarterbacks. Is he lumped in there?
I mean, I guess he has the ability to scramble. I don't really consider him a running. I would rather have Stafford.
Okay. It sounds like he's a top 5 guy. About Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
Did you say him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said inside top 10.
All right. Yeah.
So I mean, that's close to top
all right.
5. I mean,
Cowboys expect to place franchise tag on George Pickens.
which makes sense. We talked about that a few episodes ago.
Is he going to be as good as he was this year? I know there were some complaints about his effort. Last couple games, came up short on a few routes. Do you feel great, locked and loaded as wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 coming up for next year?
Wide receiver 1's tough. Because CeeDee Lamb did miss some games. I mean, that partly helped his total. He was still fantastic. Just for me, it's really tough. Like, even for a guy like T. Higgins, who you know is very good, the wide receiver 2 in an offense is always just tough for me to spend super high on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess I really don't know what a big board's looking like, but let's say he's going in the 3rd round.
Yep.
I guess I'm trying to think of some guys who would even be going there. Why am I blanking? Because the only one I can think of that went like the 3rd round this year was Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's not a good comparison because he's not going to be going in the 3rd round
Chris
this
Olave
year.
going in the 3rd this year? He went late. He went late, didn't he?
Oh, no, he went like
How
the
late?
7th.
Yeah, he was
7th,
way late.
7th or 8th, yeah.
This upcoming year, though, people might be drafting Olave.
Yeah,
there.
okay, yeah.
I guess
I
was thinking this year coming up.
Yeah, I would rather have Olave
Okay.
than George Pickens.
I think my last bit of news, 2 coaching updates. Cliff Kingsbury joining the Rams coaching staff, according to ESPN. And then we've also got, where is my other headline I saved? Jets hiring Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator. I know we were just talking about the Jets here a second ago. In regards to Kenneth Walker. Either of those headlines do anything for you?
I mean, I think Frank Reich has always been a good coach. I mean, he had some good years with the Colts. It's the Jets. I mean, there's just really not much to. I mean, seriously, I mean, there's just not much to say there.
I think the Kingsbury news, I think, is a bigger deal for the Commanders than for the Rams.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the local Commander stations quoted Jaden Daniels calling it tough.
I mean, their offense also looked pretty tough this year.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, a lot of injuries.
There were.
In all fairness to them, I would be surprised to see. I think that people are going to expect a bigger bounce back from the Commanders than you're going to get with Kingsbury's exit. I mean, he's a creative guy. I think it's a great move for the Rams. I'm excited about it for them. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine the Rams' offense getting better. I mean, like you said, Stafford put up an uncharacteristic year, and maybe this is just what Matthew Stafford looks like now in the year, whatever it is. You know, maybe he's becoming that more accurate guy, highly effective in the red zone, isn't throwing that crazy deep ball anymore. He's relying on the run game to move the ball up and down. Yeah, I mean, him, McVay, reigning MVP Matthew Stafford, that sounds like an offense I want a lot of shares of, to be honest with you, in the passing game specifically. Like, Devontae Adams, whew, I'm going to buy some shares. I'm going to buy some shares of that, brother.
No, for sure. I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't think it would have mattered if Kingsbury was there or not. I would feel that same way.
But I feel even better. It's like,
yeah. Especially since, I mean, McVay is the one calling the plays.
Yeah. But here's my prediction. And if this hits, I'm gonna look real smart. I think Cliff is gonna lure Debo to sign with LA in free agency. I think Debo's up. I think he's a free agent this year. And I think they had some little chemistry. You know, he's with the Commanders. You pull him back. He gets to play for a division rival against the Niners, who we know that he hates with all that contract negotiation going on, where, you know, he wanted to get paid for both his running and receiving services and all that stuff with the Niners. I don't know, was that 3 years ago now? I think that, you know, I think that if Kingsbury can lure him away, I think that's my best plot line of the offseason. And of Debo in that offense, I also want a lot of shares.
Yeah, no, I mean, and kind of your point of Washington, like you said, a ton of injuries. Terry McLaurin's basically out most of the year. Their running game, they could just never really figure out what they were trying to do. I mean, like I said, it was just this revolving door, especially after Austin Eckler got hurt early in the year. That'll be interesting. I actually think I'd be interested to see where McLaurin goes in drafts. I think I would really like him as a value pick if they can get healthy. But
the Mike LaFleur move, I guess we're talking about LA's offense being good this year. Are you excited at all about Arizona's prospects as far as a fantasy team? Obviously, we've got big questions at the quarterback position. I still believe in Marvin Harrison. I know he had a terrible year.
Well, and the only thing that's weird is Michael Wilson.
Yeah,
took off. So who knows if he kind of took over the mantle there?
Yeah,
Trey McBride's obviously the main number one target, regardless.
That's a lethal pass.
I love Trey McBride.
You're a quarterback away from being like, that's a.
Where are they going to get it though?
I don't know, but I
well, I
don't know.
You probably sound like an NFL GM right now.
I don't know. We gotta get a guy. I know. I sound like an owner talking to the GM like, we need a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I like Mike. I'm a little biased. I'm a Packers fan. I like the other brother a little more. But obviously, great offensive mind. We saw what he did this year, outproduce the MVP, and so I'm excited about Arizona. I don't know if I'm the only person on planet Earth saying that, but I want some shares of that offense come next fantasy year. I don't think the quarterback situation can be any worse than it was. If Kyler Murray comes back, I'm smiling, a little tongue-in-cheek. I just don't understand how it could be worse than it was. I feel the same way about the Texans. Even if C.J. Stroud is back under center, I can't imagine he regresses more. You got to think there's improvement. Everyone in the world knows it. The people inside the building have to be understanding what's going on, whether it's a scheme thing, whether it's a reading the field thing, because talent doesn't just dry up like that.
A lot of COD lobbies, man. I don't know. Maybe that's 1v1 Rust will get to you, man. It's a little Nuketown.
Dude, I think they should just have him play that instead.
Actually, kind of random, isn't the one Nuketown from BO3? Wasn't that 2025?
I don't know.
I think it's from. I think we're past Nuketown 2025.
It is 2025.
Wow. Man, we're just a couple old men here in the booth. Huh?
I was going to say they should just have him play. They should have do 1v1 interventions only, quick scoping on Rust for the win. Like the whole. Here's a tidbit for you. The whole David and Goliath story in the Bible is actually something called a dredge warrior, right? So instead of losing armies, you'd select a dredge warrior who would represent your entirety. And if you lost, you retreated. Dude, that's what they got to do. They're like, hey, our quarterback, your quarterback, 1v1 interventions, quick scoping only on Rust. Wow. With the heartbeat.
Dredge?
Dredge.
Yeah. Mike's gone. We can do all the magic references in the world now. It is unbridled. I'm the host here now. Your Stafford talk, I think, is kind of a good segue into
we got segues.
Our next
NFL
topic
honors.
Here. Yes, NFL honors. Few days old now, but I do think that there was some interesting. So, the MVP vote was one of the closest, I think, since 2003. I thought I saw an article say. Now, I believe I may butcher this, but a first place vote gives you 5 points, I think. Based on, you get so many first place votes, second place votes, so on and so forth. Gives you so many points. I think a first place vote is 5.
Yep. Yeah, because there's a one first place vote difference.
Yes,
Stafford had 366 and May had 361.
Yeah. So it's just crazy to think that literally that little of a difference separates who would have been MVP.
Do you know who that first place vote went to?
Yeah, it was Herbert. Yeah. Well, I will give the voter credit. So I think a former PFF guy, Sam Monson is his name. I will at least give him credit for coming out publicly and stating his case. Now everybody roasted him, and I don't agree with it, but I do at least appreciate him coming out.
Stuck to his guns.
Yeah, yeah. So I do think I'm very happy for Stafford. So anybody who's watched the show knows I'm a Lions fan. I always thought it was really funny that, just because the Lions were the Lions, always bashing them. people always felt he was overrated. Number 1 overall pick in 2009. And I just think it was so interesting seeing him going to the Rams when we traded him. The Lions traded him to the Rams, and everybody loves him. Everybody loves this guy. But I do think he absolutely deserves it. He's a phenomenal player, especially just watching like the way he carved up the Seahawks defense.
Yep.
He played him 3 times, two regular season games in the division, and I mean just killed it, honestly. And so,
an inch away from going to the Super Bowl. Talk about that catch in that game.
Yeah, and so I definitely don't think Drake May didn't deserve it, but I do think that Stafford was the right vote in my opinion. And so it was cool to see, and it was also cool. I don't know if you saw any clips or anything from the show, the NFL Honors show, but he brought up his 4 daughters. And so that was just a really cool moment. They even gave him a video afterward, where they recorded, just assuming that he was going to win, and then they kind of talk about his stats and stuff. So that was really cool to see.
I will say, I was pulling for co-MVPs. It's only happened twice: 03 and 97, Peyton and McNair, and then Favre and Sanders. I was pulling for the co-MVPs.
So I guess I assume that only happens. Well, would it be possible?
Yeah,
under the current voting system.
Yeah, if the first plate vote switched, they would have got the same number of votes.
Yeah. So you only get points. Well, no, because you have to get points for other votes. Because Josh Allen and Herbert. So I guess I can read it off here. The top 5.
But the thing is, if they all got the first place, I guess then I'm assuming everyone who put so and so first put so and so second, which is true because there's only a 5-point gap.
Yeah, potentially.
No, it's a 5-point difference. So if he would have got the first place vote, it would have been tied.
Well, okay,
yeah.
So, just to run down the MVP voting. So, Stafford had 24 first-place votes with 366 total points. Drake May, 361 points at 23 votes. And then Josh Allen at 3rd with 91 points, had 2 first-place votes.
Yep.
McCaffrey 4th with 71 points, no first-place votes. Trevor Lawrence finished 5th in MVP voting at 49 points. And then the list I saw didn't even list Herbert or however many points he got, but he did get, as we mentioned, the last first place vote.
I don't know if they ever released people who were not top 5.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
That kind of just gets. I know for MLB voting they do you go on Baseball Reference and see literally everybody.
Yep, everyone who voted.
Let me see. I should have pulled that up.
Yeah, because most of the time NFL you know who won it 2 days before.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I was going to see. I'm going to look up Sam Monson's full explanation.
I've got it here, actually.
For his Herbert.
On his...
Yeah, he tweets too much. I thought I was going to go pull it up quickly.
Here, I got it.
Let's hear it.
Loading. I was the Justin Herbert vote. The guy had the worst offensive line in the NFL all season, and despite that, he was working miracles in almost every single game. Stafford's own line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he became a turnover howitzer. Crazy. He embodied, quote, value. And then the tweet thread continues. MVP is the single hardest award to, quote, correctly determine because the focus is on value, which is basically impossible to objectively evaluate with so many dependencies. But the idea that one vote altered a guy's legacy is stupid. More people than not thought each candidate did not deserve to win MVP this year, according to the votes. There was not one clear MVP who was robbed of the award. Most people were torn between 2 deserving candidates. I thought a third deserved it as well because the value he brought to his situation was immense. Yeah, it's actively not just the best player, though, and that's the issue. Like it or not, and I don't like it, value is an intrinsic part of the award. It is the focus of the award, and there's no consensus definition or quantification of that. By the way, for people that don't know, the nominees were just the top 5 vote getters after the votes. They didn't send a list of the 5 nominees, and I chose from outside that list. That's kind of the crazy part to me, where it's like, hey, choose between these guys, and you choose the write-in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't even say – so I guess to pull up his stats, clearly Sam Monson doesn't carry. Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. That's a sleep rap?
Yeah, is my camera on?
That's great. Yes, it is. Yeah, we're on 2 laps.
They get in there and make it about you meme is crazy.
Well, it's funny they come from a sleep rap. But
dude, Sleeper's tweeting.
I guess to put it in perspective, so Herbert played 16 games, missed one game this year, but threw for just over 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 picks. And the 13 picks is actually interesting. It's the second most in a single season in his career, and more than the last 2 seasons combined. Now, I guess my problem with his take is that why are you only limiting that to quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
You could apply that to McCaffrey, who not only finished higher in MVP voting than him, but was missing his starting quarterback for half the year, and then Niners just dealing with their typical litany of injuries. Obviously, he's not a quarterback, so I mean, like as we've joked around, might as well name it the MBQ. MBQ. So to me, it just I don't know the arguments. But like I said, first and foremost, I respect him coming out and giving his explanation. You can think of it what you will. Obviously, we did not see that with the Hall of Fame voting recently with Bill Belichick.
Oh, that's crazy. Have we talked about that on the show?
Well, no, because we didn't do the show last week.
Listen, that's insane. Can we call that for what it is?
Yeah, it is.
That's the most disrespectful thing I think the NFL's ever done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Well, to be fair, it's not the NFL, Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, which, I've had beef with for a while. For a long time, there were a lot of hold on. There was a lot of Cowboys fans, or Cowboys, old guard Cowboys in there. And Jerry Kramer, Packers guard, he's the original pulling guard of the Packers sweep, was kept out of the Hall of Fame for a long time. A long, long, long time. I think he only got in 3 years ago. 2018, a little more than 3 years ago. But he was the only player on the all-decade team that had not been inducted to the Hall of Fame for that era. And the behind closed doors reasoning, apparently, was I think that would have given Lombardi his 11th or 12th Hall of Famer. And I've been told the old Cowboys guys that were voting for that said, if more than half of his starters are in the Hall of Fame, we have to pull the coach out. How good of a coach are you if half your team's in the Hall?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, and then obviously some of the controversies they dealt with, during Belichick's tenure, I know maybe we're more Belichick-centric, but I'd be interested to see what they do with Brady. I mean, if I remember correctly, wasn't Brady decently involved in not Spygate, but Deflategate?
Oh, yeah.
And so,
and he's kind of admitted it after now.
Yeah. But everybody loves Brady, so I mean, obviously he's gonna.
I think the broadcasting career might get him back in the good graces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's interesting. I do think the voting's just bizarre in general. I actually just pulled up the 2012 MVP voting. Which was the last time a non-quarterback won. It was Adrian Peterson's 2,000-yard rushing season, which is second all-time. Only Eric Dickerson has more rushing yards in a single season than AP. And he won it pretty handily. He won it 61% of the vote. It's weird. It only shows this is on Football Reference, but it only shows 2 people, him and Peyton, I assume just getting first-place votes.
Yeah.
And so, but looking at the Offensive Player of the Year voting, Calvin, this is the year Calvin set the single-season receiving record, finished 4th.
Man, wide receivers never going to
finish 4th.
Like I said, I think a wide receiver will win it if the number 1 record in the league has the number 1 offense, and they had 2 different quarterbacks over the course of the season. That's the only way I think I can ever see a wide receiver winning the award.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and then the 3 that finished ahead of him were AP also finished first in Offensive Player of the Year. Peyton Manning finished second, who was also second MVP voting, and then Tom Brady. And Brady and Manning both had great seasons that year, but yeah, it just seems like I don't know. Yeah, what are we doing here? So, I guess to kind of get to the other awards, Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. I don't know what your thoughts on that were, Ethan. Definitely think he was deserving. I definitely think there were other candidates that were also deserving. So kind of one of those years where there's a lot to pick from. I don't think Mike McDonald would have been bad. I don't think Ben Johnson would have been bad. Even Sean Payton, I don't think would have been a terrible choice. There were definitely a lot of good options. I don't know if there was a voting, like if it showed like what the rank was, but I don't know what your thoughts on the Coach of the Year
I think Vrabel was the right pick. Like you said, I think it's the year where you could have gone 3 or 4 guys. But I think before you hit record, I said I don't think there was anything in the NFL awards that I did not agree with this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty like, yep, straight ticket. That's how I would have voted it, considering that the MVP is a quarterback award essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
Yeah, and then I did find the voting results. So it looks like they vote on a similar scale to like just the regular MVP voting.
Yeah.
So Mike Vrabel finished with 302 points, 19 first place votes. This is actually spread out a decent amount. So we have Liam Cohen. I forgot about Liam Cohen. Finished second with 239 points, 16 first place votes.
Okay.
Mike McDonald was third with 8 first place votes, 191 points. Ben Johnson was fourth, only 1 first place vote, but 145 points. And then Kyle Shanahan at fifth, 6 first place votes, probably because of all the injuries they dealt with. It makes sense. But yeah, finished fifth with 6 first place votes and 140 points. So, like I said, all deserving. I didn't even think of Liam Cohen and Shanahan when I just rattled off those names earlier. I think those all make sense. Still kind of crazy. Dan Campbell didn't win it last year when we went 15-2, but that's just me. Kind of getting the other ones, pretty standard too. I think offensive player of the year went to Jackson Smith in Jigba. Defensive player of the year obviously went to Myles Garrett, setting the single season sack record. Offensive rookie of the year went to Tet McMillan. I feel like a pretty weak year for offensive rookies.
Yeah, I mean, Genty was the exciting one, but I mean, Tet kind of held it consistent.
Yeah, we saw Ibuka in spurts, but it definitely fell off a second half of the season.
Scorching hot start, though.
Yeah.
Watch out for that guy next year.
Cam Ward did basically nothing his first year with the Titans. Yeah. So, and then defensive rookie of the year, I'll admit, was somebody I was not familiar with.
Carson.
Carson Schwezinger, linebacker for the Browns.
Yep.
I think that's what's frustrating about the Browns is they always have talent on both sides of the ball. I mean, they literally had one of the maybe the best offensive linemen of our lifetime, and Joe Thomas 10 years ago.
Wisconsin legend, by the way.
Yeah,
by the way, just throwing that out there.
Guys like Josh Gordon briefly, Peyton Hillis, who could forget Gary Barnidge, and so they always just seem to have guys, and it just never works out.
I mean, Joe Juravicious. I mean, come on.
They let Baker walk out the building, and so frustrating.
But shout out to Joe Thomas. Yeah, Brookfield Central, I think high school.
Mm-hmm.
Brookfield was
interesting. My great uncle is a little aside. He's a Browns fan.
Okay.
And he's a little older. Like he's my great uncle, so he was an original Browns fan. And I'm blanking on the top of my head of how long it was between the Browns being done, and then turning in the Ravens, and then the new Browns coming.
Yeah.
And I remember asking once, like, why didn't you just become a Ravens fan when they made the switch? And I forget his explanation, but he basically was like, when the Browns came back, like, I'm a Browns fan. So
3-year gap.
Kind of bad for him. It was only 3 years.
Browns relocated to Baltimore in 1996 under Art Modell, and then the personnel operation in Baltimore. NFL established the Browns the new team in 1999.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, just if you're a Browns fan out there, sorry people.
Ugh.
We've got about roughly 10 minutes here, Ethan. If we want to wrap up here,
can I get you a little baseball trivia?
A baseball trivia on a football show?
Yeah, on a football show.
Why not?
Has to do with the Browns.
Okay, let's hear it.
Did you know that both the Orioles and the Ravens were once teams called the Browns?
Oh, yeah, St. Louis Browns.
That's just kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Both teams originally started as the Browns.
Yep.
There you go.
I believe that's who Satchel Paige played for.
There you go. That's my baseball fun fact for you. Both Baltimore teams once called the Browns. Both are neither called the Browns now. Or neither are called the Browns. Don't say both neither.
All right. Hold on, audience. Sorry. I need to make sure we're... Yep. He played 1951 and 1953 for the St. Louis Browns.
Orioles could use him now.
Yeah, they could. Very disappointing here. Hopefully we get that fantasy baseball podcast off the ground here.
Let us know.
So.
Hey, If you want a fantasy baseball podcast, I need you to make a Facebook post right now at Wayne15 and say, hey, I'd like to see fantasy baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're a longtime player of fantasy baseball, but I've never not won the championship when I played fantasy baseball. Never, not once. You know, last year was the first year I played fantasy baseball. Clayton plays in this crazy league with $100 buy-in. I said, sure, dude, I'll do it.
Yeah, he's like,
And I won it all. Story for another day.
Story for another show.
All in all, if you want to see fantasy baseball, go on Facebook at Wayne15. We'll see it. We'll probably see it.
Yeah, but like I said, kind of just wrapping up here. I'm just interested to hear what are you most excited for when the season starts up again? I know August is a long way away, but I'm sure you've got something on the mind. Let's hear it.
In the words of the great Chris Bourbon, the Raiders. I want to see Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Genty.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Trey Tucker. I just spit a little bit. I'm salivating about the Raiders.
I don't know if it showed up on the camera.
That's great. It was kind of disgusting. That was gross. The Raiders. Just because I think they're going to be exciting, young, fun team. That offensive line is not very good, and Mendoza's going to be under pressure. But just the thought of Mendoza and Genty is really exciting. I mean, we're talking about over the last 2 seasons. Can I call them the 2 most exciting players in college football? Am I allowed?
Go for it, man.
I mean,
how do you feel about Clint Kubiak? Obviously, it's led the Seahawks to.
Hey, anyone who leads the Seahawks, I'm on board with.
Okay.
No, I think I like Clint. I mean, we'll see. To be honest, I don't know much about Clint Kubiak. To be super cards on the table. I'm excited. I mean, I think that you draft Mendoza. I think you got to do it. I think if you don't draft Mendoza and he's good, you'll never live it down.
Oh well, there definitely are. And the question is who's going number 2. I mean, at this point,
so I'm excited about the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little off the wall take, but I want to see them. What about you, big man?
Well, honestly, I think I'm just most looking forward to. I think we're starting to see just a lot more parity in football, which I never thought I would see because I think I've made my thoughts on the quarterback position pretty well known.
Oh, really?
I think it's a team sport, if you will. But we saw that trend kind of get bucked this year, and so I think it's exciting. Obviously, there's pros and cons to having like the evil empire that you're trying to take down. I think we saw that in NBA, past 10 years, or even I guess just the Chiefs in the NFL. But seeing so many good teams, I think it obviously makes for a lot of good regular season games. People lament the Thursday night football being garbage every year, but I feel like if there's more good teams, there's more good matchups, and who doesn't like good football? So I'm excited for a Lions bounce back. I think it's going to be there. But the North is going to be crazy tough again. I think the Bears are going to be so good, unfortunately. So,
dude, Packers are going to be back.
Packers are going to be good too. I mean, they made the playoffs. I don't know how you could say they're coming back.
A playoff team that gets to add Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft to their team?
I mean, we'll see if they're even the same.
Dude, I've got no doubt about Tucker. We'll see on Micah.
Okay.
Tucker's going to be back. All-pro year.
We'll see.
All-pro Tucker Kraft.
He was looking good.
Top 2 tight end.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's only 2 teams, right? For All-pro? They do second team?
Yeah, it's first and second team.
Yeah.
And for tight end, they only do 1 each. I think wide receiver, they do.
So if I'm saying he's All-pro, I got to say he's top 2.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my logic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think that's all the time we have. Thought it was a good show. Kind of like we said at the beginning, we're obviously praying for Mike and wish him a recovery. Like I said, he's doing well, in very good spirits, him and his parents. So if you can just keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And maybe we don't really get fan mail. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's our first fan mail. Is a little Mike Zanetti giving us
I'll read off the station. It's 2915 West State Boulevard.
I'm sure he could have looked it up.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46808. We're in the 08 here. Hey, if you got some fan mail for Mike, we'll put it up on the walls. You got fan mail for us to put up on the walls, but we're missing Mike right now. Yeah, he's gonna be learning how to walk again and doing all that stuff. But he's standing, he's scooting around. really good signs so far. So, Mike, know you're watching this. Love you, brother. We're praying for you. People at home praying for you. So,
Sure.
He'll be back before you know it. We talked about Skyping or Zooming him in for an episode. Skype's not around anymore. Zooming him in.
Well, I just need to learn how to do that first, but hopefully by next Tuesday, maybe we can get that done. So, thank you for everybody tuning in. First and 15, episode 27 keeps on trucking. We don't care that it's mid-February. We're keeping the content going.
We're gonna do some big boards. Clayton's top picks, my top picks. So we're gonna get this done throughout the course of the season.
So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great day, and we will see you next time.
This is First and 15 on WANE 15 Plus.